What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mr. Straight Facts Show. Hope you had a great weekend. Let's get into it. The first thing, what's up, Mark? How you doing? I'm gonna check with Mark. Mark, how's the audio, bro? Anyway, uh, I'll check and see. You're like, I can't. But let's see. The first thing we're gonna get into today is there was an article written in the Atlantic, and in the Atlantic, um, thank you, Mark. They were talking about Iran basically has a checkmate in Iran. And, you kind of go into trying to figure out what they're talking about. It says defeat in the present confrontation with Iran will be of an entirely different character. It can neither be repaired nor ignored. There will be no return to the status quo ante, no ultimate American triumph that will undo or overcome the harm done. We're at the point of no return with this war. Because I want you guys to understand something. What Iran did to the American persona, what these testosterone-driven men decided to do without thinking here, they was thinking with something else, not their brain. This bravado bullshit that they had to go and blow up a country without thinking that it could fuck up America completely. You know what I mean? And knowing that we only get 4% from there, we still need that 4%. That they know that the resource there is global. So even if we only have 4% and it affects 20%, and basically we're the four, so there's 16% altogether. So 16% outside of us that use this, you know that it's a global resource. So that literally means that if it's a global resource, you guys got static. Mark said he didn't hear it. I don't know. But if it's a global resource, turn the audio down. I'm gonna say, as I look at the picture, I thought I saw it moving, like it's something else going on. But anyway, let's get to it. It's a global resource. Okay, so that means it's going to cost everybody whatever it goes up. If it affects those 20% of the people, or 16 and not us, if they use it, if their price goes up, ours goes up. So if it's 120 bucks, it's not just 120 bucks for the 20% and the 4%. It's 120 bucks per gallon for the entire country, the whole United States, the world. $120 per gallon. So how is it beneficial to any of us? It isn't. So what this is saying is that no matter what, we're not going back to the status quo. Ask yourself a question, and I'll just keep on playing with it. Ask yourself a question personally. Forget about Iran. Forget about United States. Just the thing that you want to know is, I'm just looking at somebody's comment. But the thing you want to know is you have to figure out how is America going to come out of this? We can't come out of it clean because what they've taught any small country, if there is a resource in that country that America or the world gets from them, they can close down the waterways from where they are and shut America the fuck down. They found out that they don't need multi-million-dollar products to win a war. They're literally realizing that we're the Goliath and there are a bunch of Davids that can whoop our ass just off the experience that they've seen with Iran. All they need is a resource that we need that they don't want to give to us. And if we fuck with them and they don't want to give us this resource, then they shut off the waterways. Now, I know not all of them have like a small waterway situation, but what they've learned is to beat America, you just have to find a resource that we need or the world needs globally: oil, diamonds, rubies, whatever it may be, gold, and shut her down. If there's any pathway to take it back to the United States or back to other places, that country can shut it down, and that is the model. So why do we need $600 million worth of, why, for not even 600 million, because that was something else, but the entire thing? Why do we need 1.5 or 1.25 trillion dollars for our military now, when we can just drone it up? Drones are 20,000, 50,000. If America wants to get all funky with it and be like, oh, we want to spend more money because we're the best in the world, then you get $100,000 drones. But 100,000 is way less than one item being built for $12 million, and it takes a year to build. When they can make 8,000 of these $20,000, $40,000 drones, 8,000, they make 800 in a day. 800 a day. In 10 days, they got 8,000. And they spent less than $1 million for the most part. And you spend $3 million on one item. That's why we've wasted so much of our military equipment. We didn't stop bombing Iran because we just felt like, oh, it's just not a good thing. We stopped bombing them because we were bombing at such a high rate that we were losing our weaponry. And therefore, what the reserves that we had was dissipating too quick than we can actually replace. It takes years to replace some of these freaking weapons. And we've gotten to a dangerous level of not having them. That's because we blew up that place and fucked around for so long using weapons. Not only just this war part of it, when we blew up before their supposed, nuclear weapon site, and they want America to think that we're winning. But we're only pausing because we don't have the weaponry to continue this war like they are. By the time this ceasefire, if it's over, let's say Donald Trump says he don't want to have anything to do with it anymore. He said he don't want to do nothing else with it. Let's say he wants to end the war or whatever. One, there's a two-party decision here. Donald Trump can take his ass home, but all that's going to do for Iran is to say, hey, we beat them, and now everybody who has to go through, y'all owe us $1 million, $5 million, $1 billion to get through. Whatever they choose. And what's America going to do? We're going to come back out there and do what? And do what? We're going to bomb you, and what's going to happen to you? All that time you've been waiting, we got a gazillion of these freaking $20 drones that was fucking y'all the hell up. What you gonna do now, big boy? What you gonna do now? That's what they're doing to America. Y'all big and bad, but what the fuck you gonna do? Sit out there and let your boys eat shit while we over here eating steak and chilling? Or whatever they particularly eat over there, lamb, whatever the fuck they eating and having a good old time. They don't been through hell. They don't had bombs come at them. They don't lived in rubble. America has not, especially our military, been treated like this absolute shit like this. Sitting out in the middle of nowhere, no food running out, water running out. For what? A war that don't mean shit. We can't even win this war. We just can't win it. And we sitting out there wasting money and wasting time. And this fool, he can't pull out. He'll look super weak and leave America and the rest of the world in a world of hurt. And everybody in the world blames him already. He pulls out and have them fight the deal. Oh, they're going to hate America for a century. Say, man, fuck y'all. Y'all messed up our entire economy, our economic system here. Just because you listen to that dipshit Benjamin Netanyahu. It's just sick. But we can't get out. That's what Atlantic was writing about. And I agree. I mean, what is the outcome? How can we win? I mean, I would love to hear somebody say how we could win, but I don't think there's a way to win this. And that's why I think Obama didn't do it, Biden didn't do it, Bush didn't do it. And I was talking to a gentleman today, and he's a Democrat, and he said, "I thought with Bush, that was the dumbest president that we ever had. Along comes Trump. I didn't know how dumb our country was until Trump came in the first time. And then after they saw how horrific he was, and all Trump had to do was lie about, oh, I did a great job, I did a great job, I did a great job. And these idiots like, well, he did a great job. No, he didn't. He never did a great job. He was poor at his job. As you can see now, without the guardrails, because before he had people with common fucking sense, but just was still Republicans, just greedy as fuck. But still, he had those people who kind of knew the parameters of how far you can stretch the government, how far you can do certain things, and what things were illegal to do, what things which wasn't unethical to do. They would always rein him in. He would go somewhere and they'd be like, no, you can't do that. Shoot these people in the feet or legs, whatever. We can't do that. It's illegal. Then he got a bunch of sycophants in there. We can't do the tariff thing. Just go ahead and do it. They went on and did it. We can't just go arresting just anybody for no fucking reason. In the previous one, this one, I need you to arrest people for no fucking reason because I'm pissed at them. All right, they go and do it. No guardrails. You see how dumb your president actually was. Or is. I don't know, was. He ain't passed away yet that I know of. But that's the problem. The first time he was in office, he had guardrails. And he still sucked. And the people who left that were his guardrails literally came out and said, this dude is clueless. Don't put him back into the office. You didn't believe the people who worked side by side with this dipshit? That were generals, that had been in the military for a long time, that had worked in offices in the White House for decades with different other presidents and so forth, told you this man was batshit crazy. Something's wrong with him. Don't do it. Don't vote for him. He'll never get back in. And then you voted for him and you thought it was going to get better. Yeah. Dumb and Dumber. Demetrius got it. Dumb and Dumber. That is just, it's insane to believe. Now, gas prices from all of this have skyrocketed. It's come down a few cents. It was $5.55 the last time I checked. Today it said it was $5.52. So 3 cents it came down on a national average. I can't say what happened in whatever your state is. It may have went up. As you can see in many states like my state and other bigger states, gas went up a certain amount. Like right now in my area, it's $6 and some change just for regular. Now, I don't know where this area is, this graphic that I got from, but it has 619 and then plus was 643. And that sounds about right. I would think this is in California somewhere, to be quite honest. But it says fuel, munitions, and food, the mounting toll of Trump's Iran war. This country is going through some things financially. And finance people don't want to tell you the 100% truth. They want to kind of, and I understand that because you don't want to have people have mass hysteria, selling off stocks and hoarding money and blow up the economy even worse than what it is. I get it. But I mean, common sense tells you I couldn't get the audio of this thing. I don't know, you may have seen it. There's a piece of audio of people talking. They called into Megyn Kelly's show. Maybe you can look that up. Trumpers call into Megyn Kelly's show. And they are lighting Trump's ass up. You know, this one dude said some crazy amount. I thought he was talking about like rent or food went up this high. He's like, his bill per week was like $19.20 or something like that. just for gas because he has diesel and he's in a truck and I guess he's a trucker. He said truckers are going out of business because a lot of them are independent contractors, if not all. I don't know all of them. I don't think all of them are, but a lot of them are. So they're independent contractors. They buy their own trucks, they get their own contracts, things of that nature. And then there's some who work for the corporations and so forth. But $1,900 a week? I'm like, how much you making, bro? How much are you making to have be able to pay 19, 20 or whatever it was a week? This man's paying $8,000 close to it a month for gas. Boy, you best believe. And here's the crazy part. You really can't get out from under that because to think about truck wise, he can. He can get into a car and drive an Uber or some shit. It'd be cheaper than 1,900. Still gonna be high because gas prices are up. But it's like that's what they should be talking to regular everyday people. I know they keep asking people about the gas prices, and that's fine for these interviews they ask people about. But they need to be asking people who rely on driving for their job. I mean, I ain't talking about commuting back and forth to work. I'm talking about drivers, people who have to drive trucks, tractors, and trailers, and Ubers. You know what I'm saying? To be able to drive those every day, and the gas prices are so it has to eat into their profit. And some of them are making pretty good money, but if you're doing it part time, is it really worth it anymore? That's my question. Those are the types of things they should be really dealing with. Because again, it's day to day, average woman and man. What is their life like? I mean, people who have millions of dollars in the bank, we ain't giving two shits what your life is like. Because I know people should care about it, but we're not. Because you guys are expending money and you don't have a problem with it. You love being lavished and all that shit. So it ain't meaning nothing to you. But for average Joe, average like Jane, shit, it means a lot. And so those are the things they should be asking questions. I think a lot of these people are disconnected from asking, like, I get the questions about how much gas is costing, but those who are driving, those who are using fuel the most, interview them, see how their bills. So when this guy called in, that blew my mind that $1,920 a week. I was thinking gonna say a month. I would flip out. What's up, John? I see y'all here. Uh, San Diego might be around that price too, not in my name. But yeah, that's just way too much. If you guys had seen a video I did today, some of you guys are not on. Well, I had it on YouTube as well too, but I think I first put it out on TikTok. But I'm getting tired because we've always talked about this. I'm getting tired of people, Democrats. I literally call Democrats out, not me and you, uh, the leaders, because I've been thinking like, why is it that the Democrat Party allows the Republican Party to label itself something that it's not? It is a lie to the American citizens to tell you that a Republican has ever been, nor ever will be, because it's not really a part of their platform, to be fiscally conservative. It's a lie. They're not fiscally conservative. And the thing that gets me is that I don't think people think don't know what fiscally conservative means. So I had to like just come up with some, the actual definitions. You know what I'm saying? That looked it up. Like, what does it necessarily mean? So that people can get a grasp of what fiscally conservative means and whether the Republican Party fits in it. I know what they say. I'm talking about what they actually do. Go back and look at their record and see if any of these things apply to them. All right? Fiscally conservative. Hopefully it shows up in here in a second. There you go. It may be too small, I'm not sure. But we're going to go over it. Fiscally conservative refers to an economic and political philosophy advocating for limited government spending. Do the Republicans have a limited government spending? They have spent more money in multiples than Democrats have. They have created more debt in multiples than Democrats have. Donald Trump is responsible in his first term. We haven't added up this term yet. In his first term, to amass 25% of our entire total debt by the time he had left. 25%. One president. How do you spend that much and it don't come back to us and you call yourself conservative? That label should be burned off of y'all fucking lips. There is no way in hell you can sit here and tell me that your party is fiscally conservative based off the definition of fucking fiscally conservative. I don't know what you guys have made all these years. Democrats, what the fuck are y'all? Why y'all let them have that? Is this some kind of like game you guys play? You think this is a fucking game? To sit here and allow people to have, well, they'll use that for the way they win and we'll use this for the way we win. Bitch, I want the truth. Fuck your winning. Tell the truth. Democrats are more fiscally conservative based on the definition of what the fuck it actually is than Republicans. It is a moniker that they use to try and get people to win. The way they do it is saying, Democrats create all these programs to help people. They're just wasteful spending. Like, really? So we got people who are starving out here, can't get a job because rich people won't give them jobs. So therefore they're poor and robbing people. Yeah. And then you got a situation where, you know, even when you give people jobs, you're not giving them all living wage jobs. You know what I'm saying? Your market for how much you're paying them is ridiculous. It's poverty wages. And I'm like, hello? So you create a problem and then you tell the people who are going through the problem that they're the problem. That shit makes no sense. But somehow this country, when you take a bird's eye view, you just see a bunch of rats in a rat race, literally listening to these people who keep feeding them cheese and shit. And they just keep running to one party or to the other, not on facts, but based upon who's giving them more cheese in whatever it feels. For Republicans, the cheese is make them feel important when they know they're a piece of shit. Make them think they're up here when they're really below like ground, below earth level. You know what I'm saying? Under the dirt is where they really reside. But Republicans make them feel like they're up here. And it's like, why don't you just lift yourself up to here so you don't have to have somebody that feed you this bullshit so you feel better about yourself. But somehow they feel it. This white supremacist shit, this we're better than somebody else, this merit shit they come up with. They have had a campaign against education. Being woke is just being educated, being smart, and understanding your surroundings. They say anti-woke, so we want to be dumb, is what you're telling me. But it's all hooked up into hate of something, someone, whatever it may be. And that's what it's attached to. But the actual term just means to be aware. And you got to keep repeating that, because every day they repeat the total opposite of what the fuck it means. And you got dumbasses. I had somebody on my YouTube today as a comment saying some stupid shit like about this. He had a black picture, but I don't believe he's black. Talking about the history, talking about black people or on the plantation with the Democrat Party. I'm like, you're just fucking ignorant, dude. I mean, outrageously ignorant. I am surprised you're able to type with those hooves that you actually own, because there's no way you're human. You got to have a pig brain or some shit, because this shit to me is just stupid. How do you utter out of your mouth some of the most dumbass shit that you could easily look up and make yourself feel better by being a smarter human being, than to address people who are obviously smarter than you to act like you're smart without ever picking up a book to read and find out, or Googling? It's so fucking easy. But they choose to, I'm smart, really? Here's the thing. We don't have to tell ourselves we're smart. We just do the homework and it automatically sounds like it. That's what being smart is all about. You do the homework and you talk about it and you share it with others and they share with you certain things, and you both are becoming more wise about the facts and also your opinion on actual facts, as opposed to, oh, I'm a dumbass. Oh, you are? I am too. Well, pigs are purple. Oh, they really are. What? And a person with common sense listen to two dumbasses talking about pigs are purple. It starts with a P, bitch, but it's pink. It ain't purple. But they're like, oh, it's purple. I don't care what you say. That's what this country's come to. People who see something that is actually pink but want to die on a hill to call it purple, because they want to gain intelligence by falsehood, by lie. They don't want to actually work hard. And it's so tripped out too. They're quick to tell you that you're a sheep. They're quick to tell you that you're some kind of person who wants free things. And they want free intellect without working for it. Free merit without working for it. It is outrageous. It's outrageous. Just, I mean, it's. But anyway, here is the fiscally conservative. Maybe they can educate themselves in reading, but I guarantee you, for the average MAGA / Republican, they won't get past the first sentence without sweating bullets. Fisk, ale, conservative, refers. Instead of fiscally conservative refers, that's how they read. They read at a 5th grade level on average. So I'm sitting here like, how the hell do you, how do you actually put your lips together to act like you're smart? When deep in your heart, when you look in the mirror, you know you seeing a dumbass. Your mama done called you one. Your daddy done called you one. Your kids done looked at you and said, Dad, you stupid. And you still want to jump in front of that mirror and act like you're intelligent. You can't fake intelligence till you make it. Bitch, you really got to do the work. Lazy dipshits is what we were dealing with. They come up with facts that you ain't never heard of, and they do. Where'd you get that fact from? Well, I got it from conservativesknoweverything.com. Oh, fucking you dipshit. Who wrote that? Yeah, some dumbass white dude in this room. It's insane. These it says also to go on. It says lower taxes, reduce debt. When did they reduce the debt? Donald Trump increased the debt by $8 trillion, more than any president singly in American fucking history. You call that conservative, fiscally conservative. You don't reduce that. You have multiplied debt, not just increase it a little bit, multiplied it. If you understand MAGA, if you hear this, multiply means to times it by something, like 2 times 2 is a multiplication equals 4. That's what I'm talking about. You guys didn't just do 8 trillion. You had multiplied something that we did prior times another number to get to 8 trillion. Nobody's put that much on the board. And Donald Trump was bad then. What do you think it's going to be this time? 8 trillion last time. This man has shut this country down, has charged everybody tariffs and taxes, trying to get, what is it? He ain't trying to. I think he painted not reflecting pool. Yeah, a reflecting pool in front of Lincoln Memorial, right? Getting a ballroom that supposedly his boys was going to pay for. Simply the same thing. We're not going to pay for the wall. This man has literally lied to you over and over and over and over and over and over again. And all you've done is capitulate. Everybody else will say, here's the facts. Mexico didn't pay for the wall. Oh, it's old news. You want to say it was Democrats' fault. Okay. It's Obama's fault. Okay. All right. What about Donald Trump ever giving you your gold phones? Whose fault is that? I know you guys don't saw the video of the white guy. I don't even know if he has a Trump hat on, but I think he has on something red, sitting in his car or truck, having a fucking fit. Where's my 3 phones? I bought 3 phones. He had to put a down payment of $100. This fool spent $300 as a down payment for 3 gold phones with Donald Trump's face on it, and ain't seen shit. Can't get in touch with nobody. Made a video for help. He sent up a flare via TikTok and YouTube. Where's my fucking phone? Man, y'all are galactically stupid. I don't understand how somebody could literally grow. I think the thing that shocks me is, to be quite honest, somebody had to have kept y'all alive. Mom must have kept feeding you. Your dad must have took care of you. You must have joined the military, and they took, because outside of you guys having a structure or somebody feeding you real information, you guys couldn't survive. You probably wouldn't have made it past the age 7. Getting out of the house 18 and over, somebody's been helping y'all survive, because I can't believe that any human being could be this dumb and still survive. And it's shocking. If anything, y'all should get a medal for being the dumbest people who ever survived. Because, I mean, cave people died off in droves because they couldn't figure out fire. I mean, you survived being as dumb as a caveman. That's a feat. You got to give it to you. You got to give yourself some credit to be that stupid and still be able to survive. That's a feat. I got to give it to you. I really do. Dumbass and still survive. Okay. But anyway, here's the thing. They talk about discipline, financial management. Where are they managing anything at all? They can't govern. If anything, Republicans have taught you, governing is not their forte. When they were being a part of, when Biden was the president and they had to work, they were the head of the House, James Comer couldn't tie his shoes without a manual. And you're sitting here telling me you guys can govern, yet you were the worst House in American history. You did not accomplish shit. You guys spent time, and I mean time, on refrigerators. You think it's bullshitting. These people spent millions of our dollars debating refrigerators. And was saying, let me have my refrigerator. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about? What nobody think? Most people already got their refrigerators, bitch. We ain't trying to get another one. Why are we on this topic? Most Americans have got something to eat out of. Why are we on this topic? When we got more pressing things to do. You guys spent 2 years doing absolutely nothing. And you want to call yourself conservatives. You want to call yourselves being able to govern, and you can't govern yourself out of a paper bag. You've had more than one option. Bush fucked it up. Bush took a surplus from Clinton and fucked that all up. Donald Trump took 75 months of economic growth by and job growth by Obama and fucked that up. How the fuck do you guys call yourselves anything else but a failure? You guys are failures masked as white supremacy. And that's the funny part about this. White supremacy is a failure thing anyway. Because why would you have to call yourself something that you know you're not, just so that you can feel good about yourself? You're not superior, nor can you govern. This is what happens, America, when you work on issues like they try to put you on race issues and trans issues and trans in sports. You guys fell for that hook, line, and sinker. They attacked your idiocy. They attacked your hate. They attacked your ignorance, and you showed up strong as a dumbass. I mean, ooh, you were such a dumbass. You couldn't tell by looking at these people going to the rallies wearing 2 hats. Just 2 hats. They had to have their Trump hat, and they wanted to stay out of the sun, so they had 2 hats. These people walked around in diapers because Democrats recognized that Donald Trump wears one to support him. You guys went and paid money to watch this fool talk about a snake in diapers. You even bought a little white little mug thing, whatever it is, little canister that was supposed to have this fake thing of J.D. Vance's sperm cells. You don't see that your party was batshit crazy and still is? You're the sane ones. Tell me where you've seen a Democrat walking around with anything that resembled Joe Biden's sperm cells. Not one of us. Our crazy ain't that crazy. Our crazy, you guys call crazy, are the ones who want health care for everybody. It's Democrats also, leaders. You guys make me sick. I'm going to tell you this right now. Why? Because you guys assimilate that you allow Republicans and other people to actually try to justify the far left wants free health care for everybody. The far right wants to have everybody broke and them rich. And you compare these bitches, well, the far left and the far right, they're just the same. Bitch, please. One wants to destroy every fucking thing. If you gave the far right everything they needed, kids would be dying of cancer because they would put cancerous shit everywhere. There would be no fucking lakes because they would have oil in those bitches all over the place. Ducks would be dead. All that shit. All that shit would be gone if you allow the far right to do what the fuck they want to do. How do you compare that to somebody who wants everybody to live? Those two are the same. Shut the fuck up. Give me a fucking break. And Republicans allowed, yeah, the far right, what? Far right wants everybody to have health care. They want to use all this money. If anything, you should find out, Americans, is that America ain't broke. We in debt, but we playing a huge shell game, okay? But the reality is, if we can find $1 trillion for a military that's failing to a military that hasn't spent $1 trillion to whoop its ass, then you got to rethink your strategy. If a smaller country, 92 million, can shellac the fuck out of you by just closing down a river or whatever the ocean, the part of the Strait of Hormuz, can shut it down and fuck the whole world up, make everybody mad and shitty at you, and totally destroy economic shit for decades probably gonna come. What other country can't figure that the fuck out? You showed your weakness. You're the Goliath, they're the Davids, and the Davids got us now. Got us by the short hairs. And y'all sitting here talking about, we won, and we blowing up shit, blowing up big shit, but you still losing, bitch. It's not the big bad wolf anymore. No. It is the person that appears weak that has figured out that intellectually, because America has dumbed its people down, even their leadership, they put the dumbest person on the fucking planet. And don't listen to me, listen to his own professor, who said he was the dumbest goddamn student he ever had. And you put the dumbest goddamn person that teacher ever had as the president and thought he was going to be smart. This man has to call himself smart because nobody else will. You guys call him smart because you're sheep. But actual smart people look at him like he's a dumbass because he is. It's amazing to me. Now that you know, MAGA, just read that you're not conservative or fiscally conservative at all. It's not a part of your DNA, never has been, never will be, because you guys fall for the same old bullshit. Because Democrats create stuff for people and humans, and they create stuff now for AI and to replace you. You really think that getting with them, even though they're not small government, they're fucking ginormous government, they're out here trying to tell people, they don't kill people on the street just because they were Latin or protecting Latin people. Where are we at? The Underground Railroad? They out here killing people because they think they're illegal. That's the same shit they did to slaves. You're not human. You're 3/5 human. You're running away your property. Bang, kill them. Same shit. You guys don't even fucking recognize it. That's how people don't know. I don't understand how you call yourselves Americans. I don't understand how you say you love America when you don't even know the bitch in which you stand on. You don't know her. You don't know shit about America. The shit you say is not America. It is some falsehood that you've believed because some teacher was told a curriculum to give to your dumb ass and you never thought outside the box. Why? Because you thought your teacher was telling you the truth. Why did they think that? Because her teacher and his teacher said the same fucking thing. It's been ingrained in Americans to stay dumb. And guess who recognized that and had a strategy for it? China, India, Japan. They realized America is on purpose turning their human beings, their people, into dumbasses to profit off of them. They know that our leadership are just people that they can pay off. So that's why you get a Bibi Netanyahu doing whatever the fuck he wants. Pay him off. They rough shot and do whatever the fuck they tell them to do, write the bills that they want them to do. And we as Americans think that this whole program is actually working for us when it's really working for other countries like Bibi Netanyahu. Do you think it really benefited us to send our manufacturing jobs to China? You can see how that turned out. Either they didn't have the foresight, which I think that's it. They were just too stupid to realize and too greedy. It was either be intellectual or be greedy. I choose greedy. And so they chose greed instead of intellect and thought at some point in time they'll just cut it off and bring it back to some degree, just gonna make a lot of money real quick and bring it back. And then realized China took that shit and ran. If somebody offered you the world and all you gotta go through is like 10, 15, 30 years of pain, and then you can be one of the top dogs in the entire world, would you take it? Fuck yeah, you would. You got that deal at 10 and they said, yeah, we're going to do this. And 30 years later, you 40 years old and everything's fucking riding for you. You would have took that deal. How was it America gave that shit away? Greed. Because they was thinking right now. How can I make money right now? Not realizing that you gave away what in the future was going to become the biggest thing ever. They gambled on our future and lost. Just like they gambled on this fucking Iran and they're losing. They are terrible. They are terrible at governing. 100%. And these dumbasses have put another Republican back in office. If you were smart, you would never put a Republican back in office like I'm talking about ever. Ever, ever, ever. It's over. It would be a wrap for me. I would never put until a Democrat did something outrageously stupid. Then you kick his or her ass out. But other than that, I don't understand how these people don't realize the only party that's ever created any kind of bills to help the average American citizen, which is 300 and out of 350, it's like 340 million of us. The Democrats are the only party that's helped 340 million of us. The Republicans have helped that 10 million who are rich as shit. But got a lot of talk that don't mean nothing. When you look at it over history, it means nothing. Go back and look at it. Don't take my word for it, but that's the definition of fiscally conservative. Republicans don't have what did my parents used to say? A house to piss in or a window to throw it out of. They don't have it. They are deficient. They really don't have it. And they keep saying they have it. And it's up to you Democrats to literally say the truth. We're the true conservatives. We're the true fiscally conservatives. You guys can't take that moniker. That belongs to us. Snatch that shit back. I was you, I would market on it. I would literally show it. The thing is so hard about it. I don't know why Democrats are so hard to brag on themselves. The easy way to do it, bro, is to see. Donald Trump wasted $8 trillion. What Democrat president has done that? None. President Obama inherited fucking hell from Bush. A fucking war that was just raging and an economy that was crashing. He managed the fuck out of something like that. He governed the shit out of that. We came out of it strong. Even with Republicans not even trying to help. And Donald Trump gets that growth and fucks it all up. I'm sorry. You guys are losers. Donald Trump's a loser. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of losing. I think America should start winning, but we lose it on all fronts. When Obama was president, every country except for Russia and these fucking dictators, every country fucking loved us. France loved us. Canada loved us. Mexico loved us. We were loved everywhere. They had big parades when he came. That shit was gorgeous to see America being respected like that. Kind of made you forget how shitty America could be. But when you saw that, you're like, wow, we are good people. That's great. Then Republicans come in. Bush after Clinton. Trump after Obama. Fuck up, super fuck up. Facts are facts. This is not my opinion. These are facts. My opinion is they fuck ups. They failed, yeah, but my opinion, they're fuck ups. That's my wording. But losers, that's the truth. 100%. So after this, you got who was out? It was Mark Kelly today. Was he did it yesterday, I believe. I want to say it was yesterday. Interview. Today is Monday, so yeah, it was a Sunday. Face the Nation, I believe. I want you to hear what he had to say about this war and information they got about it.
A number of times we've been briefed by the Pentagon on specific munitions. Actually, it's been pretty detailed on Tomahawks, ATACMS, SM-3s, THAAD rounds, Patriot rounds, so those interceptor rounds to defend ourselves. And the numbers are, I think it's fair to say it's shocking, how deep we have gone into these magazines.
So what he's saying, and I ain't got to really super explain it, but these magazines, also, like I said earlier, oh, it got very loud for you. Sorry about that. But you start to see what he's saying is that we, like I said, we running out of things that we spend $1 gazillion on. We spend $1 gazillion, and you know, it's exaggeration, but hundreds of millions and billions actually. And when it gets to the military, trillions of dollars over the years for all this weaponry. All this weaponry. And then when we go to war, we're in war with one country. He's talking about going to Cuba next. It's like, so you plan on fighting Cuba too. So you remember how he bragged about Cuba because he thought the Strait of Iran, he didn't think about Strait of Hormuz, but he thought Iran was just going to be a bomb and run. We're going to beat them, throw somebody in and bounce. Look at me, I'm winning. And he did that and lost. And then, but in that time frame, when he was trying to figure out what this was it a war? Was it an excursion? What is it? Whatever the fuck he gives it every day, whatever adjective, he's trying to throw you off and say, oh yeah, we're going to beat this and we're going to go over to Cuba. Well, where's that Cuba conversation now? That was his thing. He was, for, I don't know, for like a week or so, maybe two, he was kept on saying about Cuba, 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 Cuba. I'm going to go to Cuba, I'm going to Cuba. Just to kind of get you off of this war like, we're already done with this. We're going to kick their ass and keep going, moving on to the next place. No, didn't happen. He's always trying to act strong. Again, I must remind these Republicans, Donald Trump is Madam Bone Spurs. So you thinking that a dude who was afraid to go to war when the country needed him is somebody that's strong. You got Mark Kelly, who went to battle more than once, and he's went to space. You're telling me you've hitched your wagon to Mr. Scaredy Pants, and you want us to believe you're tough, you're smart. It's fucking crazy. You guys have never proven any intellect. You've never proven any bravery. You've proven batshit crazy. You've done that, which you should be either in a jail or a padded room for it. But you elected Sir Dipshit, and he decided, okay, I'll let my minions go. That's what we have to deal with. Well, after Mark came out and told us, you know, pretty much what we already knew, that ammunitions were low, and therefore that's probably the reason why we stopped shooting and tried to come with this ceasefire, trying to make it look like we did it because we care. You blew up a dude's family, killed his wife, killed his baby, killed his father, and you literally think this motherfucker is looking at you like, yeah, let's make a deal. This man wants to make you eat your own testicles. Because everybody here would. If anybody in here is mom, wife, baby, dad, wife, baby, family just got murdered, and they got you too, but you survived. Your entire family's gone one day. One day you kissing your baby, good night, baby. Kissing your wife on, whatever. Say whatever you did to your dad, good night, dad, whatever. Go into a room, kabow, everybody dead. And not only are they dead, you get to see them in pieces. Your baby no longer breathing. Sitting there, head over here, leg over there. But wife, gone, eviscerated. Just got her hair just sitting there. Ain't nothing else there. Dad, in pieces. Everything you love, gone. And you telling me, some orange fuck that killed him, I just want to have a deal with you? Man, fuck you. If it was me, man, fuck you. Me and you, toe to toe. Fuck everybody else. It's me and you. I don't give a shit about nobody here. I don't give a fuck about Americans. I don't give a fuck about Iranians. It's me and you orange fuck. We are at it. Ain't no fuck all that other shit. Fuck all that other shit. You feeling the same pain. Your kids, your wife, your family's gone. But they are on my hit list if that shit happened. Every last one of them is on my hit list. You do that shit to me. And you think Iran doesn't have the right to have that fucking feeling towards you? The fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Who would not feel that way? Who wouldn't? You can't devoid them of feelings just because you don't like them. He's supposed to feel good about you killing not only his dad, but his wife, his baby, all that. That's what I talk about, man. In America, sometimes making decisions, we do shit and then we act like we're supposed to just forget it. I'm glad that Americans are now coming to light and start really. They did back in the day, but it just wasn't publicized as much because they didn't have the apps and things like that, and they didn't have the cell phones. But I am so happy so many people are so vocal and they're really putting it out there, telling the truth about America and still loving America because you know that there are good people and this country can do so much better. But fighting within your own country, dipshits that enjoy murder, that enjoy killing babies, that enjoy being pedophiles and harming babies and children and grown women and sex trafficking and Epstein file. You got a country that has a love for that shit. And the good people somehow can't defeat it. I think that's horrific. And I think it's also a situation that if we got 350 million people here, and this is a minority of people doing this to our children, our wives, our brothers and sisters, then America, you need to rise the fuck up and get rid of these people. Somehow, some way. Because I'm saying, if we can't weed them out, they win. We have to get rid of them. The government ain't gonna get rid of them. And I ain't talking about going unaliving anybody. I'm talking about putting their ass in jail, arresting them, citizens arrest. Do whatever you got to do. But these people harming people must not continue to keep harming them. Because if the government's got some kind of cahoots and when these people are billionaires and doing their thing, things that we can do, stop buying from them once you realize they said, what is he invested in? All those things, you either drop this fool or I ain't buying shit from Walmart again, whatever company it may be. And not just me. 300 million people have got to start that care about this shit have got to stop. Otherwise, it's just like anything else. If you're not a part of it, if you're not a part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And seeing as how there's so many people just sitting on their ass not doing anything, if this was your child, you'd be out in these streets fighting. We got to start seeing these people as our children so that we're all fighting for the same thing. Fuck party when it comes to saving people. None of those kids were Democrats or Republicans. They were children. Just saying. So Pete Hegseth came out to say something about Mark Kelly, explaining to everybody that their munitions are low and that we're needing to replace them. And that's what's going on in some of these meetings. And this fool came out and posted captain, like he's not a captain. Dude, he's above you, you dipshit. Mark Kelly strikes again. Now he's babbling on TV falsely and dumbly about a classified. If it's classified, that doesn't mean it's classified. Classified would mean it's not classified. It's like, quote unquote, not really. It's the stupidest shit. Pentagon briefing he received. Did he violate his oath again? Never did to begin with. And he knows he didn't because he would just come out and say he violated his oath and we're going to charge him. Department of War, legal counsel will review. These people put out advertisements as government people. You would have never seen that from anybody in the FBI, CIA, military, none of that before this dipshit crew comes in. You know what I realized is that in America, none of these people would have made anything to the level of where they are now. And it shows that we have a group of people ill prepared to do the job. And they're podcasters, they're conspiracy theorists, they're just batshit crazy. You know, they follow each one of these people at some point in time believed in QAnon, believed in Jewish space lasers, you know, believed in some of the craziest shit on this earth. And I'm sitting here like, that's who's leading us now. Why would people back that? Some of the craziest shit that's ever been uttered, and you gave power to someone who should be in a padded room. That I will never understand, America. I would never understand that. None whatsoever. James Comey finally came out and said something today, and he was talking to Nicole, I can forget her last name, on MS Now. And here's what he had to say. He had to say a couple of things. And I'm not a huge fan of James Comey, but again, anybody fighting against this tyrannical government, I can roll with.
Donald Trump has a bottomless desire to gain revenge against those who've criticized him. And I'm not going to stop criticizing him because I think that's required if you care about America.
And that's when he's talking about you have to be able to, and that's what I do. Go against your country when they fuck up. Therefore, you gotta do that, because if you don't, you're sitting here capitulating to shit that you don't believe in and that our country as a whole doesn't believe in. We just fall in line. I am not a fall in line guy. No, not at all. I'm not in a fall in line type of shit. I'm like, yo, you either wrong or you right. You either with the facts or with lies. I roll with the facts all the time. Not half the time, all the time. I'm gonna roll with the facts. Me and the facts are cool. We homies. Ain't none of this, you know, cheating on my girl with it being the facts with these lies. Nope, I ain't doing it. It ain't happening. And so when I'm here talking about shit, I'm talking about the facts. I ain't trying to bring no lies up. And any lies that come out of my mouth inadvertently or whatever it may be, I may have said something that may be a lie. I want people to check me on it. But like, no, that ain't true. Like, oh, okay. I want to know, because again, everything is factual. I want to be factual. I want to be educated as well as educate. It's a give and take. It ain't just give all the time and get nothing out of it, and vice versa. And so what Comey was saying is basically we got to stand up. You can't just fall back and expect shit to change. He wants people to get so tired that you just give up and just shut out the noise. And when you shut out the noise, there's no voices and no power and no energy going against him to actually stop him. Once you give up, he's got all the power. And that's what they're doing. They're tearing everybody down to the point where they're just sick of it and they want to turn the TV off. And when you do that, you become ill-informed, and then you vote all kinds of fucked up ways. You want to know what's in your community, locally, state-wise, federal. You want to know it. And if you don't know it, you're leading in this country, you're leading your life and your family down this rat race of like fuckery. Because if you don't know what's going on and you vote for somebody who's about to tear your life apart, you can't really complain about that. I mean, you can fight it, but you can't be the one saying like, you know, it's fucked up the way it happened, but you voted for it, right? Then you got to take responsibility. And your thing should be, it's so fucked up, I voted for him. It's my fault that he's in office or she's in office. It's my fault because I voted for that person. I didn't do my homework. Because that person told you who they were. You just never looked at everything that person did before you voted. Just be honest with yourself. Don't lie. So this right here, the next thing that Comey said, I rock with too.
I think everybody ought to speak. Bill Barr ought to be on your show talking about the dangers he sees, and that he thought that person should never be near the Oval Office again, and look what happened when we put him back. Everybody who has a voice ought to be speaking up. But again, I can't balance what they see risked by speaking up. I don't know what their family circumstances are or those sorts of things. I am going to continue to speak up because I have grandchildren, and someday they will be old enough to understand this time, and I want them to know what Pop did during this period of time. I hope everybody feels that way.
And we should feel that way. And what gets me, because they go on to have a conversation with the young lady that's on the show, in another show, I think it was the weeknight was on, was talking to I forgot her name, she's a Republican, a blonde girl who didn't, I guess, she worked in the Trump administration, the first one, and then she came out and came against him since January 6th and all that. But she was coming down that path where she did it, scared for her life and all stuff like that, but she felt it was the right thing to do. And they were like, they kind of understand why other people aren't doing it. I don't. I really don't. The reason why I say I don't understand it is because I can understand average people who just don't get into politics, who don't know their surroundings, just go to work and just try to become rich or whatever it is and do everything right or wrong, whatever, criminals, whatever it is. You're in your own bubble. But the people who are paying attention to the world they live in, the people who fight to become leaders in this country, and the people who are aware of what these fools are doing, I'm sorry. If you have become a leader of this country as a senator or a representative or a mayor or a governor, I'm sorry, you can't get to sit here and be like, I can't do it because I'm gonna risk the lives of me and my family. And shut the fuck up. You risked the lives of your family, and when your ass got in front of millions of us and told us what types of plans and things that you were gonna do for the country. And you have to know that if you do not come through for some of these people, you are on a hit list for some of these crazy people in this country. You have to know that. That is just what the shit you do when you become famous or when you get into a position where you have to divide the country to win your election. And then your job is to reunite them when you get back into office. And when you can't do what you say you're going to do, your life is always in fucking danger. That's why you always have security. So don't give me this shit that you have a problem with it because you're scared to go against Trump, and behind the scenes you talk shit, but in front of the camera you suck dick. So I don't want to hear that shit. I want to say you can't be patriotic as these leaders and talk about you love this country when you see this country getting fucked over, torn to pieces, shredded, getting murdered, and you just sit back and watch. You ain't trying to call 911. You ain't trying to ring the bell, no kind of alarm. You ain't trying to ride your horse into the town and say the British are coming. Bitch, you ain't doing shit. Get the fuck out the office. You're the one that's supposed to be risking your life for the rest of us. We didn't elect you so you could sit on your ass and not do anything to save the country. You're the one that's supposed to be leading so that we know you got us. But no, we're out here actually speaking the truth, and you guys are capitulating. And I don't quite understand that. We send our military men and women out here to risk their lives and die for us. The least you can do is die for the fucking truth. You put yourself in a position, just like these military people. They signed up, put their hand on the Bible, had the oath. Theirs is to protect and serve us. You did the same fucking thing to do the Constitution the same way. And you choose to do absolutely nothing. You're negligent in what you said you was going to do. You're negligent as an American. You're negligent as a patriot. There is no way in hell you watch this country fall the fuck apart. And because some orange dude is scary, you choose the orange dude over the American democracy. Fuck you. Your entire fucking family, the lineage. I hope they all grow up to have some kind of straight up disease. Deathly. Because I can't believe that you would put us in danger just because you're scared of that man. I just don't get it. You're a bunch of pussies is what I consider you. You're not a patriot. You got the P right, not patriot, pussies. Because how you going to sit here and allow this man to destroy everything, but behind the scenes you're pissed. But in front of the camera you act like you don't, he's just doing this. You make up lies just to cover him. But you're telling these reporters shit, don't tell them who I am, but he's a piece of shit. And they're out here telling us that you don't believe. I'm getting tired of hearing people on MS Now, on CNN, for years. For years, decades, even when Bush was in presidency, there's so many Republicans that just want to come out against it, but they fear they're going to be primaried. Fuck your primary. You're there for democracy. You're there to be a patriot. You're there for the Constitution. You ain't there just for your pocketbook. Most of y'all got rich off of some other shit or investing. You're getting a $100,000 a year job here, which you don't care about. Most of your money's made somewhere else. And you're telling me that you think this $100,000 that you're making, that you know you're making millions everywhere else, this matters? Don't give me this shit. Don't give me that. I ain't gonna believe it. You're cowards is what you are. And that's what they need to call you every time they have you on these shows. Cowards. Don't sit there and tell them that they're MAGA. Don't sit there and tell them that they're cowards is what they are. Because if you can sit there, and you need to call them out too. CNN, MS Now, you need to call them out. When they come on that stage and they say the things they say, I was like, dude, just 5 minutes ago, you was talking about Donald Trump was a piece of shit, but Scott Jennings, you came on the camera and you're saying this. Where'd that come from? You need to start recording them when you do it too. If you're in a two-way recording state, in California, you get sued for it. But if you're in a state, make sure you're in a state where you can record without permission. Record them, Democrats, when they saying this shit. When you get on a camera and tell us in the news, well, I know that some of these people, this is Democrats and reporters and anchors. Some of these people that we anonymously, they've told us behind the scenes that they didn't like this with Trump. I want to tell all of y'all who say that, fuck y'all. I don't give a fuck about what somebody said behind the scenes. Out that bitch. If he or she ain't gonna talk, out them. So that we can ask them when we see him next. I thought you didn't like Trump. So why are you in front of the camera lying to the American people? That's what we need. We need a cleansing. We need a cleansing of the bullshit. This country needs a lie enema. We need to just stuff them and have them motherfuckers just shit out the lies. Because I'm getting tired of all these people just lying over and over again, and these reporters and anchors telling us that there are certain Republicans. You give Republicans too much credit when you say there are some that don't like Trump. What is that supposed to do for America? You're literally giving some of them cover. By saying some, you're making it seem like not all of them are bad. Well, I'm sorry. If in front of the camera, they hold a line against bad, but behind the scenes, they talk to your ass about good, but they hate him and all that shit. But in front of us, they're talking about how good he is, but behind the scenes, they can't stand him. I'm sorry. You're not doing the country any service whatsoever. You're doing a disservice. And next time, reporters and anchors, when you say that shit, just realize you're telling us that you're holding the truth away from us, yet calling yourself news, a seeker of fucking facts. You're supposed to be representing us. It's supposed to be giving us voice in the room to power, holding truth to power. How you holding truth to power when you're holding secrets to the ones who are in power? Make that shit make sense. Just because he won't talk to you anymore if you out him, I'm sorry. The country's more important than your fucking job. The country's more important than all that shit. You gonna let democracy go to the wayside just because you want to keep a fucking job? I'm done. Done with that. That's just ridiculous. Also, this is going to be the last thing. One of the two things I got to say. I've been watching also on the news, reporters and anchors and so forth, and Republicans and Democrats. Donald Trump, I didn't have this audio, but Donald Trump went on that rant again about Trump derangement syndrome. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to give people the definition of derangement. And you should be able to look it up and Google it and you'll see. But once you hear the definition of derangement, it literally lets you know that the deranged party is the Republican Party. But, you know, they like to play on words. So their play on words is to try and say it's deranged because, all we do is talk about Trump, but not realizing all we're doing is holding to our own morals and standards that we've always had. We did not shift our moral standards at all. We kept them the same, and we call out every lie, every bullshit. And if Donald Trump does 30,000 of them, bitch, we gonna get every 30,000 of them. We ain't gonna let a lie slip. That's not called derangement. That's called having fucking morals. And you guys call it derangement because we literally get tired of someone lying to us. And we will not be a sheep. We will not let somebody feed us, like poison and just suck it in and just be like, this poison tastes good. We don't do that. The true deranged people, just like the people in Texas who drank the fucking Kool-Aid and killed themselves, those people would be deranged. Those are the ones who drank the Kool-Aid and realize it. What's in the Kool-Aid? Oh, it's just some poisonous shit. Oh, we all drinking it? Yep. Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, bottoms up. That is the derangement. That would be you, not the Republicans. MAGA, that's you. You're the deranged people over Trump. You're the ones who are constantly allowing this dude to bend you over. Even though you say you're not gay, he bending you over and giving it to you every night. And you come up for air to come tell everybody else what he done spoke to you like he was Jesus. Oh, and Trump said this and Trump said that. Did you do any research to find out what Trump just told you was true? He said it. I'm like, then you're the deranged one, bruh. The idea that you would call somebody else deranged is just stupid. You guys keep proving yourselves to be dumb, to be simps. And you know what? It's sad. Because I know, I hope, I know your parents didn't raise you to be this way. I would hope they did. If they did, they suck too. But I would hope that people want to raise their kids so they can be the absolute smartest they can actually be. That they succeed well beyond mom and dad did. That they have better education than mom and dad had an opportunity for. But what I see, that ain't what they did for you. They put you into a bubble. It made you believe some shit that wasn't true about yourself because you didn't have the intellectual fortitude to become all you were created to be. You relied on race and isms to get you where you are. You had to denounce DEI, which was for everybody, not black people, but you made it about black people. You had to denounce thinking logical. I was like, oh my God, they're attacking logic. Like, what, idiocy is the new logic? You guys attacked, all kind of, of talking about like race and how racism actually is a real thing and it's systemic racism. You got that out. You got blacks books out of school that had to deal with black people, gay people, and trans people. What you just leave? Mormons? I mean, it's ridiculous to me. You're destroying the entire world just so dumb white people can have a chance. That's scary. You should have just did your homework. And for us in America and all out the world, for us to literally have to constantly feed these idiots knowledge that they can't obtain, why in the hell are you putting them in power? There are 350 million of us. If the majority of us would sign up to fucking vote for once, the Republicans would never, ever, ever be in power again. We would never have to go through this. We might end up having the Democrat and Independent Party. I'm just saying. You might want to think, America, to get rid of that party altogether. Because if those people continue to get into power, they're hurting us. They have never helped us. They're constantly hurting us. And it's sad. Because we can agree to disagree, but they've gone off the rails. And they want to call themselves the same party. How are you the same party when anybody that was in your party you've pushed out? And the Republicans, whom we didn't even like, you've made us to start liking Republicans we couldn't stand during the Bush era. Because they were dipshits then. You've turned them into intellectuals. You've gone beyond stupid. You traveled into the world of dipshittery. And you're like, that's below stupid. And Republicans are already challenged. And I'm not, this is, look, dude, go back and look at it. These people have not made an effort to make this country better. And I think what the country's tired of is the same old thing. They get mad at Democrats because you got the same platform. You keep fighting, and Republicans fight against you. You can't get half the shit that you want to get done. By the time your presidency is over with, you've accomplished 1/3, 1/5, 1/10 of what the fuck you said you was going to accomplish. Not all your fault, but the system set up allows the Republicans to be able to get in office and get power, and we can't get shit accomplished. But that's you too, voters. If you guys that showed up for Obama his entire 8 years, not just if I vote for him to become elected, but for him to have control of the House and Senate, we have health care, a better health care system, because it came out, it was good, could have got better under him and the Democrats. All that shit. We wouldn't be in much debt. I guarantee you it would chop down our debt. That's what Dems do. They're fiscally conservative. But here's the last thing. This right here, I was going to share it last. I came up with a graphic. I realized, like I said, you know what I'm going to do? I said, you know what? MAGA is no longer MAGA. It's just not. I mean, they're batshit crazy, don't get me wrong. But I'm like, they call us Trump derangement syndrome, TDS, because we are crazy because we like hold people to facts, morals, and ethics and laws. But we're the Trump derangement syndrome because we want the world to go as it should, make it a better country. And, you know, we call them MAGA. No longer. No longer am I calling MAGA MAGA. I'm going to replace their names with what they really are. And this graphic, you could take it if you want, post it if you want. But at this point in time, I call MAGA the submissives. Because they're a bunch of subs. They bend the knee. They're scared to talk. They don't do anything good for American citizens. It is all Donald Trump. Everything Donald Trump. They have no backbone. They're afraid of one orange dude that literally shits on himself. They're afraid to go up against him. Why would we want any of them to lead when they're all subs? They're not alpha males. They're subs. They literally do what one man tells them to do, regardless of constitution, regardless of morals of ethics, regardless of laws and norms. He says jump, they say how high. These people are submissives, and it's so crazy how they try to act like they are alpha males. No, Donald Trump amongst y'all is an alpha. Amongst Democrats and people with common sense, he's an idiot, but he's an alpha to you. And you guys are all the subs. You're submissives. You can't stand up for shit. Does Donald Trump was he did he win did Biden win the presidency in 2020? Submissive. If you was your own man, all you had to do is say, yeah, he lost. It lost by so many points. You can't do that because you are submissive. I mean, all y'all need is the whips and chains and the balls in your mouth. That's what y'all should be for Halloween. Y'all should all come with a red tie. Look at you. You dress like the man. You guys are not, Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth is just Donald Trump. That's all it is. You can't be yourself. You don't even know who yourself is because you're so deep down Donald Trump's body that that's all you do is speak him. I'm sorry. I don't see any Democrat today. When Obama was president, Biden went against some of the things that Obama wanted to do. They talked about it. What Biden said, like, we need to do this. I think we should do this. He gave him like a lot of deference and said, hey, what do you think, Biden? Biden would say A, B, or C or whatever. Obama would pick, whatever he wanted to do, but they had that agreement to talk about it and make a decision. And sometimes he voted and went along with Biden. Other times he didn't. That right there is called men. They're alphas. You guys are submissives. You're subs. When Donald Trump says jump, you say how high. You're not a man anymore. Donald Trump stripped all of them of their manhood. None of them are men. They have no malehood tendencies. They literally have wimp tendencies. Subs, people who literally can't do shit unless they're told. If Donald Trump told Pete Hegseth or any one of these people, if he told them to go and roll around and eat out of a dog bowl, I guarantee you all of them would do it. Think he wouldn't. Think they wouldn't. They would literally, if he told them all to eat dog food out of a bowl, they would turn around with their gold bowls in front of them, and every last one of them would eat it, even if it was Donald Trump's shit inside of it. Tell me I'm lying. So yes, this leadership, they don't have any merit. They're submissives. And this is what I'm posting forever. I'm more than happy to do it, but I'm putting out submissives because I am sick and tired of them acting like they're men, that they're strong. You're not. Men actually don't agree all the time and have no problem saying it in somebody's face. Submissives can't. They literally can't do it. They can't. And when you see these people, all of them they're trying to get into the office. When Pete Hegseth was trying to get into being, the head of the military, they all asked him the question: did Donald Trump win or lose the election in 2020? It's simple as shit. In their head, what would my dominatrix Don, what would he say? What would he say if I did this? Oh, let me think. They all think. I'm like, what is there so hard to think about? They're thinking about what their dominatrix will do to them if they tell the truth. So if they tell a lie, they're going to get a cookie. They're going to get an extra spanking. They're going to get a ball put in their mouth when they're about to get the deed done. That's MAGA. That is who you guys hitch your wagon to, MAGA. A bunch of subs while y'all think y'all masculine men. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're a bunch of girls. And no disrespect to girls. I'm just saying these guys who act like they're men are more feminine than masculine. And that's so fine. If you want to be feminine, go for it. But don't come out here acting like you're masculine when you're feminine. Don't come out here and act like you're an alpha male when you're not. You're a straight sub. That's all I got to say about it. That's all I got to say about them. They're subs. They're not people who have any kind of backbone. They literally do what they're told. And when you send people to lead, you want them to agree with the president sometimes and disagree based upon whether it's going to help your community or not. They never go against him. And to me, that's the only thing I can associate it with. Anybody who does that is a submissive. The Speaker of the House, I didn't get a chance to put him in there. It was too full. I might make some more later, but you can take it. But they're not alphas. I can tell you that right now. They pretend like it. We're so tough. I'm like, no, you're not tough, bro. You're tough. You have your own balls. But Donald Trump has all y'all balls dipped in gold. Wow. He gives them back to you every once in a while. But he ain't going to give them back to you ever. You're going to walk around nutless because there's no way that you guys stand up for yourselves. You don't. One example before we get out of here was you had, not Pete Hegseth, but Marco Rubio. When he started, he said, when this war started, he told the truth that it was Bibi Netanyahu that wanted to go in, and therefore we went alongside of him because we were going to have to fight anyway because we had our military bases there and they were going to attack, so we had to jump in. That was his first initial conversation on his press conference, whatever. And Donald Trump got word that this is what it is. He's trying his best. That fool came back out and changed his story. Why are you changing your story when you knew You were the one that was there. You knew exactly what happened. But you changed your story because you are what? You're submissive. When he tells you to jump, you say how high. He tells you to roll over, you say how fast. You got to stand up for yourself and literally do what the law says and the Constitution says, not what Donald Trump says if it's unlawful, if it's against the Constitution. But anyway, we're going to leave it at that. You guys, much love to you. He said, what balls? Exactly. He got them all. But it's just sad, man. I just can't believe how somebody would literally let that happen to themselves. I mean, there's nobody that's going to take my manhood away from me. I'm not going to let it happen. It's just not. And, you know, when anybody can do that and say, oh, I'm a man, I'm like, no, bro. How can you be? Sorry. How can you be a man? Sorry about that. It just came up. How can you be a man when you've never stood up for yourself? And I ain't saying you got to stand up just to be standing up because we want you to stand up. I'm saying that these reporters are literally saying, behind the scenes, you guys are literally talking bad about Donald Trump. But in front of the cameras, you can't. Now, if you agree with him, hey, then you're an alpha because you believe in the same shit he believes in, you're just following it through. But you don't believe in what he's saying. You're doing it because he's telling you to. Just saying. Anyway, now I close it out. Messed up the show doing that. You guys have a great night. I'll see you when I see you.